Cool.
But it's good. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of Dave people that just want Dave.
Oh, yeah.
But apparently every time we do a Sammy song, they seem to like it.
Yeah,
All right, cool.
It opens up the genre. I think it definitely appeals to another type of audience, too. So,
Cool. Awesome. That's great. Now, obviously, you guys have big challenges ahead of you. Number one, obviously, Eddie's guitar playing is through the roof, right? So that's a lot to replicate. And Dave, of course, is so challenging physically. You're in incredible shape. You move very well on stage. There's so many elements to Roth because he's so visual. Same thing with Ed. He's incredibly visual, but then also technically amazing. So how do you guys keep that up?
Well, I work out every day. I go
Okay.
to the gym every day. I try and eat right.
Right.
It's just part of who I am, my
Right.
lifestyle.
Sure.
I mean, I would do it even if I wasn't playing the
Sure.
role of David Lee
Sure.
Roth. But the last thing somebody wants to see is the 250-pound David Lee Roth.
You don't want to see that.
Furry boots.
That's right.
Which I will never do that.
That's right.
As for Jake, he
Yeah.
can explain why he's
Well,
Okay.
Gene inspires me to stay in good shape. I don't work out, but I do try to eat right, and I try to stay healthy, and I try to keep a good form, because I do have to stand next to this guy every
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
night.
right.
As far as the playing goes, it did take a long time to develop that style and the technique and get it all down, and the
Right.
sound and the whole thing, and now it's just like a bicycle, you get on it and it just goes.
We just want we want all of our fans and our friends and all the new people that comes to the band. We just want them to visual what Van Halen looked like from 1979 to 1984.
Sure.
So we do costume changes. We
Right.
wear different outfits.
Right.
We go with the iconic outfits.
Right.
It's nothing but a party every time we play.
Sure.
And we perform the same amount of energy if there's 10 people or 10,000 people.
Absolutely. And so tell me, there's a lot of Van Halen tributes out there. You guys have been more and more successful with each year you're going. What makes you guys stand out, would you say?
I think there's a lot involved with that. I think you have to look at the whole package, first of all. Like Gene was just saying, the visual is definitely a big part of it. You got to have that visual aspect where people feel like they're at a Van Halen show.
Right.
And then the band's got to sound good.
Right.
We have four of the best musicians you're going to find.
Sure.
In one band, and that helps. We sound great. We sound tight. We're a good band. We're a good
Right.
unit. And we try to keep the music as authentic as we can.
Sure.
So people really get the sense of seeing Van Halen when they come see us.
Absolutely. Are you guys hardcore fans? Did you grow up on the band?
The first time I heard You Really Got Me Running with the Devil, that was it.
Really?
I listen to Van Halen every day.
Awesome. What about yourself?
Absolutely. I started playing guitar because I saw a friend of mine's brother learning Eruption on the guitar.
Okay.
And, it blew my mind that I had to do it. I had to know what it was. I had to know it. I dug into the same thing. I listened to Van Halen 1 and I was hooked.
Sure. So now you do such a great job replicating Eddie's style, and everybody knows it's very unique, and Eddie has that brown sound, as they call it, whatever. He's got that unique flavor. How do you perfect it the way you do? I mean, there's so many little nuances, little feels, little sounds. Eddie's always tweaking everything. He makes his own guitars. So how do you go about doing that?
I studied Eddie very, very well, and I learned a lot from what he used to do. And a lot of people, including him, will tell you it starts right here with your fingers.
Sure.
And then from there on, it's the wires, the cables, the pedals, the tubes, the amp, the speakers, the microphone placement, the guitar, the pickup, the strings. I mean, by the way, I'm endorsed by Pariah Pickups. I got to give them a shout out and GHS Strings.
Sure.
There's so much involved in order to get that brown tone, and I'm all about that sound, man.
Awesome.
Yeah, in his defense, I mean, I'm with him all the time.
Yeah.
We're inseparable, and he works on his sound every night.
Wow, it's amazing.
The rooms are all different.
Yeah.
But he's not one of those guys who just plugs in and turns it on 10.
Right.
He separates what sounds good and what sounds bad.
Sure. And now, what about yourself with Dave? Do you watch videos?
Every day.
Really?
Every day.
Okay, so there's always little moves and nuances and stuff?
Dave's got swagger.
Right.
If you don't come across like you have a little bit of his swagger,
right.
it's hard to really get people to understand what he was about.
Right, right.
I'm reading the Running with the Devil book that Noel Monk wrote.
Yep.
Jake just gave me my birthday.
Sure.
And I'm learning a lot about Dave just reading the book.
Oh, yeah.
When I thought I knew a lot about Dave, but I'm really getting deep. And he kind of reminds me of me a little bit.
Oh, yeah?
Just go out and be the leader and come up with ideas and just take it to another level. But,
sure.
Yeah, I mean, I watch videos every day.
Yeah.
Let's give that book a shot. Noel Monk, Van Halen's original manager, wrote the book, Running with the Devil. He keeps in touch with me. I converse with him all the time.
Nice.
It's really
That's
cool.
Great.
He actually wished Gene a happy birthday.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it was really cool. So it's a great book if you're out there and you want to.
If you're a Van Halen fan.
Yeah. We've had Noel on the podcast. He's phenomenal. We think that book is fantastic. So tell me, what are some of the key elements to representing Dave and representing Ed? What are some of the the points that you have to deliver on stage in order for people to feel like they got their money's worth?
I think Dave was all about his image,
Right.
his look, staying in great shape,
Sure.
his hair,
Right.
his little,
Right,
his screams,
his
stuff
howls,
like
yeah.
that. I mean, he never came across like a Steve Perry kind of singer,
No,
or
yeah.
David Coverdale. You know, he was Dave.
It's a stylist.
Yeah. And that's when the word swag comes in.
Right.
You know, he didn't need to be a great singer.
Right.
He had everything else. You know,
Right.
the singer was like second, I think.
Sure,
You know,
sure.
he always had that look and that, you know,
Yeah.
it's about me, and if you don't like it, get out of my backyard barbecue kind of thing.
Sure.
You know, I think that's the way I want people to look at me like that.
Yeah.
They look at Gene, I come out, and I'm not, like I said, the chubby guy pretending to be the guy that's in amazing shape.
Of course.
You know, and I'm not a young guy. I'm 58 years old.
Right.
So,
It's
you know,
not
Dave
easy.
looked like that when he was, what, in his
That's
20s.
right.
Yeah.
That's right. You do a lot of the kicks and all kinds of
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
I mean,
I could actually do a split off a horizon.
wow.
Yeah.
Holy cow. How are you even, like, practicing that?
I just, like I said, I go to the gym,
Wow.
I stretch out a little bit, and then
It's
we
impressive.
get to a club where there's a nice 3-foot riser, I practice a little bit, so I make sure I'm
Sure.
I'm landing.
What about yourself in terms of delivering the whole Eddie vibe?
Well, as far as doing that goes, it comes first. I got to get the playing down, man, because
Yeah.
a lot of guitar fans come and they're all eyes on me, and
Yeah.
you know they want to know that I'm playing the right notes and
Yeah.
hitting the right chords, and that's for me. That's first and foremost.
Yeah.
I do embellish certain things.
Yeah.
And I add a little bit of my own style
Sure.
into it, in the vein of Eddie.
Yeah.
That's always first and foremost. The playing technique, then the sound is
Yeah.
huge. Like I said, it's got to sound like Eddie.
Yeah.
And then obviously the look. I want to look like Eddie too.
Yeah, sure.
So you know, I try to combine all those three things and put on the best show. we
Yeah,
can.
you even, like, make facial expressions
Absolutely,
like Eddie.
man.
It's
I studied
incredible.
that, just like Gene said, I studied
Yeah.
that guy like for years with the VCR tape. Rewind, play, rewind, play.
That's right. So now tell me, with Van Halen not touring, does that help you guys? Because no one can see Van Halen.
You know, that's a good question.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, we have a Queen tribute band.
Sure.
Almost Queen, a great band, and
Uh-huh.
it seemed like when the movie came out,
Right.
you know, Freddie's been gone for how many years?
Oh, God, yeah,
But it
forever.
just seemed like when the movie came out, it catapulted
Yeah.
all Queen tribute
Totally,
bands.
yeah.
So to answer this question, does it make? I really can't answer it. I mean, you know, if something ever happened to Eddie or Dave or Alex or Mike, of course it would be heartbroken for
Yeah,
us.
of course,
But
of course.
do I think we would get notoriety and go to another level? We might, because now there's no one to do Van Halen.
Yeah. Well,
You know?
well, there's no one. They're all alive, but no one's doing Van Halen. You know what I mean? Like, that's what I mean. Like, I mean, it's been on ice for like 4 years now, and it obviously doesn't look like it's coming back anytime soon.
Not right now.
So,
That's
so
why
like,
we're here, to keep
right?
the spirit
Exactly,
alive.
exactly. That's great. So, tell me, in terms of the set list, how do you guys work it with the classics as well as? I know you guys like to get into some deep tracks. So, how do you mix it up to keep the flow going?
I make this out of stuff.
Okay.
You know, I feed off of the venues we play at. Like, we play places like this.
Yeah.
We like to go with B-sides.
Okay.
Hit them fast, like On Fire, that
Yeah.
they opened up in 79. But when we do, like, the big festivals where there's, like, families, you
Right.
know, we'll do Pretty Woman and Dancing in the Streets.
Right.
You know, that everybody's familiar with.
Sure.
But, you know, I mean, every Van Halen song is great.
How often do you guys play a month?
Oh, we play every weekend, pretty much 2-3
Okay.
times a weekend. So,
2-3 times
you
a
know,
week.
85 shows last year.
Yeah.
Wow. Is this your full-time gig?
Oh yeah, that's what we do.
Oh, wow. That's great. That's great. How long has it been, like, full-time, full steam, all the
I'd say
time?
the past year we probably picked
Yeah.
up the
Yeah.
pace.
Yes.
Yeah, it seems like I was been watching the band has been growing significantly over time.
Yeah, I think really ever since Gene and I paired up, things really took a whole new level.
And it's funny because, you know, he was in a Van Halen tribute band called Bottoms Up. On
Oh, yeah,
before
I
we
remember
hooked
that,
up.
yeah.
And then after we hooked up, it wasn't strange, but it was just kind of funny. Like, all of these people that used to come see both bands were like,
Right.
man, we've been waiting for this day to happen. And it was
The
cool.
union?
No, it was great. It was
Right,
great. Everybody
right.
supports us.
How's the crowd reaction been? The people that you see out there, like you said, you know, we talked about earlier in the conversation, there's people who remember their parents used to listen to Van Halen, right? Now, you guys are around the same age as me, and, you know, we go out there. We grew up with Van Halen, so to us, it's like sacred. You know, I was like, what do you see out there? Do you see the casual fans? Do you see the hardcores? Do you see a mix of both? What do you see?
I think we see both. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, there's always people with Van Halen t-shirts.
Yeah.
on. You know, those are the hardcore.
Sure.
And then, you know, you're always going to get the people that just love the songs
Yeah.
coming up. But I think we have a combination of a little bit of everybody. And then when we do the outdoor events, these parents
Yeah,
bring their
that's
kids.
when you see the
Really?
kids show up. It's
Oh,
great
yeah,
when you
the
see like a
front.
teenager show up with a Van Halen shirt and says, "My dad got me hooked on Van Halen."
Oh,
I
that's
love
great.
hearing
That's
those
the
stories.
best,
Yeah.
right? I mean, it's also, Eddie's the best thing. for a kid to get introduced to guitar, right?
Oh, yeah.
To get hooked onto guitar.
Sure.
So
You wouldn't believe how many kids actually, with their parents or grandparents, come to me
Wow.
and say, my kid looks up to you.
Wow, that's
and
great,
he's like 12,
man.
You know?
That's
and
awesome.
I'll meet them and take pictures and try to show them something or whatever, and they keep in touch with me, and it's really cool.
that's
man.
cool. That's cool. So now, do you guys touch a different kind of truth at all, or no?
Nah.
No.
Before Jake was in the band, we did Tattoo.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I
She's
did
a
that
woman.
too. Yeah.
Okay.
And it went over.
Right.
But,
That was
did,
then.
Yeah, it didn't go over like...
It was a short-lived novelty.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like Running with the Devil.
Right,
the
right.
staples.
Sure, of course.
It's a great album.
Have you guys ever gotten acknowledged by anybody in the band? Has anybody from the band ever contacted
Well,
you?
Jake got a phone call to audition for Dave.
Yeah, about 3 weeks ago.
You're kidding me!
No, I'm not kidding. I spoke with his manager regarding the shows in Vegas because I watched the videos and that got leaked, and she said that shouldn't have happened. And I asked her what's going on, and she said we're looking for new guys. That was a mess,
Wow.
So I sent them my information. They wanted me to fly out there the next day. We had to get to Florida 2 days after that.
Right.
So it didn't work out for me to fly out there, so I
Right.
sent them some stuff, and they watched everything, talked it over with Dave, and said they wanted to stay away from the tribute thing. The
Okay.
tribute guys.
Yeah.
I don't think they wanted to be a tribute band. Per
Okay,
se,
yeah.
But they're looking for that sort of guy, so whatever. I didn't get the gig as of now, as of yet. You never know
Right.
if they ever call back, whatever.
Yeah.
But it was a fun day
Yeah.
of my life to think,
wow.
maybe Dave would select me to play with him for night shows. It was fun.
Wow, that's incredible. Where were you when you got that call?
I was home. We were off. It was a Sunday, I believe. Maybe a Saturday.
You
or
think it was like a
Sunday.
prank?
No, it was definitely not a prank. It
No.
was
I know it wasn't a prank, but I mean, like,
Right.
It just seems
Like,
crazy,
Gene's
right?
playing
It was
it-
surreal, man.
Gene's playing a trick on him.
Yeah.
You're right, or somebody's fooling around
it
with
was
you.
totally surreal. She gave me all the information. It was pretty cool.
That's crazy, man. That's amazing. Do you guys follow the Van Halen news and what's happening with all the
All the
different
time.
guys?
Yep.
So tell me, like, what there's so much crazy stuff that's happening in the band right now. Obviously, Dave's doing his Vegas thing. He was out in the press talking about, like, I'm now the face of Van Halen, and like, what do you think happened there?
I don't know, maybe because he's starting this run in Vegas that he needs some kind of attention.
Yeah.
It's Dave.
Yeah.
Maybe it's going to help ticket sales. Maybe it's going to not help ticket sales.
Right.
But Dave does whatever Dave wants to do.
Right.
And if it works, it works. If it doesn't, he don't give a rat's ass. It's Dave.
I
That's
really
why
don't-
we love him.
Exactly.
I really don't think Eddie and Al are going to turn over the reins to David Lee Roth.
Yeah.
I just don't see that happening.
Yeah. Especially when the band's named after their family.
You know, I actually told Jake to reach out to Wolfie and tell him that we would put together something to pay tribute to his brothers.
Oh, sure.
I thought that would have been a cool idea.
Exactly, right?
I
Why
did.
not?
He didn't write back.
We tried out.
Yeah, well, I have a theory of my own. I happen to think that the next step is going to be they're going to go out as a trio supporting Wolfie's solo album. I think Wolfie's going to sing and play guitar, not as Van Halen, but as like the VH trio or whatever,
Right.
Wolfgang trio, whatever. And I think Eddie's going to play bass and Al's going to play drums, and they're going to go on tour like that. That's
Wow.
my impression.
Let's all
That's
sit and
what
wait
I
like
think.
everybody else.
Because I think Eddie is going to take a little bit of a back seat, and I think he wants to propel his son, and he'll, give him the platform to do his music. He's got this solo album in the can. It's been sitting there for over a
He's
year.
talented, that kid.
Yeah, and he's a talented guy, and apparently the music's supposed to be really, really good. So, we'll have to
Interesting.
say. Yeah, interesting to see what happens. So now also, in terms of the Van Halen, there's so many Zeppelin tributes. There's so many Kiss tributes. There's so many Pink Floyd tributes. Journeys, right? So, like, in terms of the Van Halen tributes, do you know each other? I know there's Van Halen, there's Romeo Delight,
Sure.
there's different bands. Do
Yeah.
you know each other? Is it very competitive? Is it friendly? How's it work?
No, we're all friends. I mean, we look at it like this. The guys from Van Halen needed Jake to sub.
Right.
If we're not working,
Right.
help them out.
Yeah,
Because we
yeah.
might need the favor one day.
Right.
So we all stay on good terms. I mean, they're on the West Coast, we're on the East Coast. Some of these other bands
Sure.
are in the Midwest. I mean, listen, if we got a phone call to go play in California, we're going.
Right. Right.
And if they happen to be off and they want to come hang out, we would love that.
Right, absolutely.
Yeah, there's no turmoil between any of us. We're all friendly. I keep in touch with a lot of the other tribute
Cool.
bands, at least the notable ones.
Yeah, absolutely. So tell me, in terms of how many songs do you have in your catalog? How many Van Halen songs do you know?
About 30.
Yeah, almost 30. Yeah.
30, yeah? So now do you keep mixing in, adding a new one, or
Yeah,
this and that?
yes.
Yeah.
Always.
So what's the latest one that you're throwing in?
On Fire.
On Fire. Okay.
Romeo's Delight.
Romeo Delight.
Drop
Okay.
Dead Legs.
Nice. It's one of my all-time favorites. Yeah.
Hear about it later.
Yeah, I love those. Love those. That's fantastic.
Say hello to
Hey,
Kevin,
Marty.
our bass player.
Hey.